Good morning. We got a lot going on. We thought, what better person to respond to a lot of it than Senator Jeff Sessions of Alabama, who's a close advisor of the Trump campaign and an all-around straightforward United States Senator. Great to see you this morning.
Hey, thank you, Tucker.
So you just saw the tape of what has happened in Turkey. Turkey's been a moderate, pretty reliable U.S. ally for an awful long time. Are you worried that things are moving in the wrong direction there?
Well, Turkey does seem to be sliding to a more Islamist ideology, and that's very dangerous, and I hope it doesn't continue. This administration has not been able to do anything to stop that slide, so it causes a problem. They do have threats like you see in these bombings, and Turkey has been a great ally. Having Turkey move in the wrong direction is really problematic. We need to continue that good relationship we've had for many decades.
Yeah, that would be a massive, massive problem for the United States. So BuzzFeed, which is a fashion blog that has a news component to it, had a headline this morning saying, in effect, Donald Trump has changed course completely on immigration. He's no longer for deportation. It was a story about a meeting he had the other day with Hispanic supporters of his. Is that true? Has he changed his view on deportation?
He has not changed his view, but he had a great meeting with people who had different ideas, and I understand, I wasn't there, but he had a good discussion. He listened to all the different views. Look, we need a lawful system of immigration. Trump is absolutely clear and correct on that. We must end the lawlessness first. We can't talk about these other issues until that occurs. I think that remains his firm position.
So that anywhere between 10 to 12 million people here illegally, whatever the number, Trump has suggested that they would be required to physically leave the United States, reapply in order to come back legally. Is that...
Well, I don't know that he's formally said that. He's discussed that.
Yes.
Other people have discussed that. That's the touchback idea.
Yes.
I'm not sure that's the best solution to the problem, but it's one solution.
What do you think is the best solution?
Well, I think we'll have to first end all the lawlessness. This can be done, Tucker. It's very accomplishable with a strong president. We need a few laws would help, but actually you could do it with current laws. And that's when then you can begin to talk more appropriately about what to do with people who've been here a long time.
So what about legal immigration? We've got over 1 million low-wage, low-skilled workers coming in every year into an economy that clearly can't support them. Would Trump change that?
We've got to consider that. Canada has a great system where they evaluate people, they apply, they rate them, give them points for things that are good for Canada. First and foremost, an immigration system should protect and serve the interests of the American people. We shouldn't bring in people that can't be vetted, coming from areas of the world that are dangerous. We need to bring in people with higher skills. We should look for people who love America and value our values and want to be a part of that. People who've learned English before they come should get a preference over people who can't speak the language. So there's so many rational things that absolutely need to be done as part of an immigration reform that I totally think this country is ready to discuss.
If you ran your office or your company the way we run our immigration system, just like giving the first 100 slots to the first 100 people who showed up, what would happen to your company?
Well, yeah, it just makes no sense. I mean, it absolutely makes no sense. We've got to fix this. We can do it. The American people will support it, but we've got politicians, particularly Democratic leaders and Hillary Clinton, that they want to give immediate amnesty to everybody, allow them access to every benefit in America, and then they don't want to do the things necessary to gain control of immigration. So this is a situation that's untenable. It's extreme. She's to the left of President Obama.
Big time.
Big time. It's just amazing, really.
So I look at the polls every day of the presidential race, getting pretty close to Election Day, really, and it looks bad for Donald Trump, and yet I hear a lot of his supporters say those polls aren't real. Are they real? Is there an appreciation within the campaign that it's not on the right course at present?
Well, polls are different. I mean, the Los Angeles Times poll has him up 0.5 point nationwide.
Yes.
So there are other polls that show different things. This is a close race right now. When I ran for Attorney General in Alabama the first time, I was down 14 points in September and won by 17. President Bush in 1988 was down 15 points at the Republican convention and won overwhelmingly, every state but Massachusetts against Dukakis. So this is so far to go. Donald Trump is just now beginning to drive his message with these great speeches. He's showing presidential leadership and the flood victims in Louisiana. I think this campaign is just beginning to take off. Donald Trump is going to win this election.
So what's his pitch to black voters, if you could boil it down?
Oh, this is really important. He's saying that the agenda we've seen in the big cities and out of Washington for the last 30 years have not helped you,
yes.
which is correct. They have not. You bring in more workers than we have jobs for. What does that do to wages and job prospects for struggling African Americans who'd like to rise? I mean, you just pull down wages and you pull down jobs. And when you do a trade policy, Tucker, that kills manufacturing, eliminates high-paying jobs, that hurts our African-American community and Hispanic communities, too. We need a leader that can change this economy, get us on the right path, end lawlessness and immigration, fix our trade policy so that we can have stronger manufacturing base and better jobs. That will be the best thing possible for African Americans.
But hasn't the Democratic Party been pretty good at convincing black voters that all non-white voters are in this together? Black voters whose families have been here 400 years and recent illegal arrivals from Guatemala who are undercutting their wages, they're on the same team somehow.
It is sort of amazing. In my view, we have, as government leaders, an absolute responsibility to the people who are here, lawfully immigrated or native born. That's the first thing. The idea that you would bring in more workers to take jobs while Americans are unemployed, having to go on welfare, is ludicrous. It makes no sense, Tucker, and I think the American people get it, but that's the policy of the Obama and Clinton administration.
I bet if you polled 1,000 people and asked, should we bring in more workers than we are creating jobs, or while Americans are unemployed, they would say no, and yet it persists. That's our official policy. What's the motive behind it?
There's several motives. First, there's a Democratic political agenda at work here, and then there's a business agenda at work here. Businesses want more workers at lower wages. That's what they do. I mean, that's the nature of their beast. But that's not what politicians should look at. If you're running for president of the United States, you want wages to go up, not down. Give me a break. Businesses would like to see more workers and lower wages. That's just the nature of the beast.
Donald Trump articulated it that clearly, I think he'd win 55%. Just my guess. Senator Sessions, great to see you this morning.
Thank you.
Thanks.